Here's the shocking statement. Your engine can be fine mechanically and still be on a path to failure because it's dirty inside. Carbon around a throttle plate, gunk on a MAF sensor, a stuck PCV valve. None of that throws a rod today. It just quietly messes with airflow, fueling, temps, and oil. And the kicker is, it feels random when it finally goes. Head gasket, overheating, sludge issues, when the warning was just grime building up for years. Let's walk through the exact cleaning sequence that stops that. Did you know your engine can feel totally okay while it's already guessing wrong on air every second you drive? Like, it starts every morning, it pulls fine, no check engine light, so you assume it's healthy. But meanwhile, it's doing math with bad info, and the fix is usually grime, not a bad sensor. Think of the engine like lungs with a breathing meter. The throttle body is the airway, the part that opens and closes to let air in. The MAF sensor is the meter, sitting in the intake stream, telling the ECU how much air is coming in. And both of them live in this oily, dusty, heat-cycled world where gunk slowly builds up. Nobody notices because it's gradual. Here's the kicker. A tiny ridge of carbon right where the throttle plate rests can change idle airflow a lot. At idle, the plate is almost shut, so that little edge gap is everything. When carbon builds up on the blade and the bore, it's like someone tightened the airway a hair. The ECU sees the idle dropping, so it starts adjusting. It tweaks the idle air control strategy. It bumps timing. It adds fuel. It pulls fuel, and now you get that random stuff. Slight surging at stoplights. A weird stumble when you crack the throttle. Sometimes it feels like a misfire, but it's really the computer chasing airflow that doesn't match what it thinks is happening. This is the moment I want you to picture. You pop the hood, loosen the clamp, and crack the intake tube off the throttle body. And there it is. That black ring around the throttle blade, right on the edge. It looks like a dirty marker line. That ring is basically a choke point at idle, and it's almost always worse than people expect. Cleaning it is simple, but do it the right way. Key off. Not accessory, not running, just off. Pull the intake hose off so you can see the bore and the plate. Then hold the throttle plate open. Some cars you can gently rotate the linkage by hand. Some are electronic throttle bodies and you don't want to force anything, so just open it carefully and don't fight it. Grab a clean rag, spray throttle body cleaner onto the rag, not into the throttle body, and start wiping the bore. Get the front lip, then wipe the backside of the blade edge where that black ring lives. You'll feel the sticky spot and you'll see the rag turn black. Keep doing short wipes, respray the rag, and repeat until you start seeing clean metal again. It doesn't have to look brand new, it just needs that crusty edge gone. And don't do the common screw-up, blasting cleaner straight into the throttle body like you're pressure washing it. People soak the electronics, flood the intake, and then they wonder why the car runs terrible for a day. Wipe it. Controlled. Rag work. Slow. Once the airway is clean, you do the meter. This is the 10-minute MAF fix. Unplug the connector. Remove the 2 screws and lift the sensor out. Only use MAF cleaner. Not brake clean, not carb clean, not throttle body clean. Then spray the sensing element from a few angles. Don't touch it with your finger. Don't hit it with a Q-tip. Don't wipe it off. Just spray and let the solvent do its job. Give it time to fully air dry, like 10 minutes, then reinstall it and plug it back in. You won't believe how often a dirty MAF makes an engine run rich while nothing is broken. The ECU thinks less air is coming in than reality, so it commands the wrong fuel. That extra fuel can wash oil off cylinder walls over time, and it can overwork the catalytic converter until it runs too hot. Clean airflow plus clean measurement means steady idle, better miles per gallon, and the ECU stops fighting ghosts. So now the engine can breathe and read air right. But if it can't vent pressure, the oil turns into pudding. Here's the kicker. Engines usually don't die because they got old. They die because oil can't move right and heat hangs around too long. And once that starts, it stacks up fast because every system depends on the next one doing its job. So think of it like this. Oil is the blood. It has to flow, pick up heat, and keep metal from touching metal. Coolant is the temp control because oil alone can't carry all that heat away. Then you've got the PCV system managing crankcase pressure and EGR managing combustion temps. Those two don't sound exciting, but when they fail, everything downstream gets ugly. When the PCV valve sticks, it stops venting the crankcase the way it should. Blow-by gases that sneak past the rings don't just disappear. They carry fuel vapor, moisture, and nasty stuff that turns into acids. If the PCV can't pull that out, it stays in the oil. The oil thickens, it starts making that brown, sticky film, and then it turns into sludge in slow motion. No warning light, no big noise. Just a gradual, "Why does my dipstick look gross?" situation. This is where I like the shake test on camera because it's so simple. Find the PCV valve, pull the hose off, then pop the valve out. Hold it up and shake it next to the mic. If it rattles, that little pintle inside is moving, so it's at least not totally stuck. If it doesn't rattle or it sounds dull like it's glued, it's not flowing like it should. Quick fix first. Spray carb cleaner through the valve from both ends. You'll see dark junk come out sometimes. Let it dry fully, then shake it again. If it still won't rattle, don't overthink it. Just replace it. They're usually cheap, and it's not the place to save $10. Now connect the dots. Sludge doesn't just look bad, it blocks oil return holes in the head. So oil gets pumped up top, but it drains back slower. That means less oil in the pan, hotter oil overall, and the pump can start sucking aerated oil on hard stops or turns. Hot oil also beats up seals. Valve cover gaskets go hard, front and rear main seals start sweating, and now you're topping off oil and pretending it's normal. Then low oil pressure shows up at idle when it's hot. And that's when bearings start getting real opinions. And twist time. Even if you change oil like a saint, coolant can still be the silent killer. Coolant doesn't last forever. When it gets old, it can turn acidic, and it carries rust and scale through the system. The temp gauge can still sit normal, while hot spots cook the head. So do a cooling flush on a schedule, like every 2 to 3 years, and do it on a cold engine. Drain what you can, fill with water and flush chemical if you're using it, then run the heater on full hot so the heater core gets cleaned too. Let it reach operating temp, shut it down, cool off, drain again.